Am I the only one that's bothered by chain messages? I mean, you get chain messages. It's a blessing coming your way. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta send this out to 10. If it's blessed, if it's mine, why I got to send it out? You know what I'm saying? God, good grief. All right, but hey, make sure you join the show because I'm gonna be talking about how it's not your fault. But all right, once again, I'm here to a folk tale out of this book. This book is it's been a constant companion over the last few weeks as I've been going through the Nguza Saba Challenge. I'm going through my third challenge now, and I've been doing at least a folk tale, almost a folk tale a day. Um, from this one, I'm still keeping up with Aesop. We will start that on in Kujichagulia probably this week and move forward from there. The Comedic New Year is over, so I shouldn't have anything interfering with it. So today I'm talking about how it's not your fault, but, right? Because I'm running to the issue where it's almost like some people, sometimes I feel like we may kind of feel guilty because we're black. You know, I mean, have y'all ran into that before? It's almost like sometimes we apologize. We apologize for being who we are. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all run into that before? And it's like, it's like, there's nothing wrong with us being unapologetically who we are, right? Because really when it comes down to it, and I know some of my listeners are going to really get upset about this, but we are the only really true Americans, right? Because it's kind of an insult for me. I mean, for me personally, for the so-called quote-unquote Native American, my Native American family to even be called Native Americans, right? Because they had names prior to Europeans. Because I want you to think about my fault, West Asian. So I want you to think about the mind fuck that these individuals have on the world, right? They'll come someplace that people live at, discover it, and name the shit. And from that point on, like their God or something, that name will rest there. So you had people here who had names, who called themselves certain things, and when the West Asian came, they renamed it. And now we got to call those people Native Americans. When they was already here and already had names for the damn place. Actually, you didn't discover shit, you stole it. Right? But now people cling to the name. Like that was the original thing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Africa. Same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you got the countries in Africa and you got motherfuckers fighting over borders that West Asians set. It's like these motherfuckers have figured out a way, you know what I'm saying, to morph reality. And so a lot of shit that we go through, a lot of the apologizing that we do is not our fault, but we participate. So the point I was making about the American is that if there's any people that are actually Americans, the black folks, that's us. What do you mean, Brother Itel? We are the only people that were born, bred, bled, suffered in the way that we have. Because when you look at the relationship between black folks in America and this country, it's almost at the same time that this country came into form. We were the people standing there You understand? We we are we are we are the essence of this country. So when people talking about Americans, they are actually talking about us because we were born from the hell, the torture, you know what I'm saying, the enslavement, the wars. We are the actual outcome of what America. We are the only ones because when you think about this. Your whole past has been erased. Most black people cannot trace their ancestry past 4 generations. Now, I know some white people say I can't trace mine back either, but that's out of laziness, lack of record keeping and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a genuine, actual motherfucking reason why I can't trace my because they were snatched, right? Murdered, right? Villages burnt down, slave marched from one end of a place to another, put in dungeons, marked up, packed on a ship, traveled for weeks, taken off a ship on a breaking island, broken, and then reboarded and then shipped right here to where we are today. You know what I'm saying? And that whole process, right, family? I want y'all to think about that. This whole process, right, put us in a position of, in a sense, the hero as a people, because we were separated. We were separated, initiated, right? Because what did I tell you about initiation? The call, the separation, the initiation, the reintroduction. Now we're still in the reintroduction process because we're still uncomfortable with the knowledge that we're bringing. We're still uncomfortable with the people we have become. We still are. It's sort of like we in our adolescence. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's that point of adolescence where you start growing faster than your body is than you're ready for. So you're still kind of clumsy with it, right? So we don't have the economic footing, we don't have the political know-how or the confidence for that right now, but we're growing into it, right? So the whole title of this piece was, "It's Not Your Fault, But," right? And then, because but negates everything before it. It's not our fault, but, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that we have to be aware of is, like, just like in a daily toast where we salute our children, right? We're responsible for what our children receive, the lessons that they receive about themselves, and by us constantly apologizing for us being us, right? For us constantly feeling guilty for us being us. What message are we sending to our children? You know what I'm saying? What message are we sending to the universe? What message are we sending to everybody else? Right? It's not our fault, but we can't allow people to violate our borders. It's not our fault, but we can't allow anybody just to come into our community and do business. It's not our fault, but we can't just allow politicians to come and feed us bullshit. It's not our fault, but, you know what I'm saying? We can't just keep spending the money in the way that we spending our money. It's not our fault, but we can't allow them to keep on educating our kids in the way that they're educating our kids. It's not our fault, but, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of buts there. You know what I'm saying? And in me saying but, what I'm saying is there's some Kuji Chagalia that we could, some self-determination that we can operate, that we can push to really start making the necessary changes, family, to start building, to start moving, to start growing, to start coming into our own. Right? So I want to share a folktale with y'all because this one kind of blew my mind. It's kind of off the point, Well, no, actually, it is on the point because I want y'all to understand. See, because our ancestors really prepared this story. I want y'all to listen to the story, and then I want to have a short discussion about the story afterwards, right? So I'm going through. I'm doing my daily. This one is called "The Nature of the Beast," and yeah, I'm sharing this one during Kwanzaa. A farmer was once working on his land when a snake came up to him and said he was being chased by a lot of men. "You must hide me," said the snake. "Where can I hide you?" asked the farmer. "Just save my life," said the snake. "That's all I ask." The farmer couldn't think of anywhere to hide the snake, so he crouched down and allowed it to creep into his belly. When the pursuers came up, they said, "Hey, you, where's the snake we were after? It came your way." "I haven't seen it," said the farmer. When the men had gone, the farmer said to the snake, "The coast is clear. You can come out now." "Not likely," said the snake. "I found myself a home." The farmer's belly was now so puffed out that you would have thought that he was a woman with child. He was about to set off for home when he saw a heron. He beckoned to it and told it in a whisper what had happened. The heron said, "Go and squat," said the heron. "And when you've done, don't get up. Keep straining until I come." The farmer did as he was told, and after a time the snake put his head out and began snapping at flies. As it did so, the heron darted forward and caught his head in his bill. Then he gradually pulled the rest of the snake out of the farmer's belly and killed it. The farmer got up and said to the heron, "You have rid me of the snake, but now I want a potion to drink because he may have left some of the poison behind." The farmer got up and said to the heron, "You have rid me of the snake, but now I want a potion to drink because he may have left some of the poison behind." "You must go and find 6 white fowls," said the heron, "and cook them and eat them. That's the remedy." "Come to think of it," said the farmer, "you're a white fowl, so you'll do for a start." So saying, he seized the heron and tied it up and carried it off home. There he hung it up in his hut while he told his wife what had happened. "I'm surprised at you," she said. "The bird does you a kindness, rids you of the evil in your belly, and saves your life. In fact, and yet you catch it and talk of killing it?" With that, she released the heron and it flew away. But as it went, it gouged out one of her eyes. That is all. When you see water flowing uphill, it means that someone is repaying a kindness. God damn it. Family, listen, when I tell you that our ancestors have already given us the solution to our problem, I don't even know if y'all understand what I mean. Right? We over here sharing everything we have. We over here repaying kindness. We over here being kind even when people don't deserve it. And we're waiting for people to repay kindness, but our ancestors clearly gave us a story that tells us that the only time we will recognize kindness being repaid is when we see water going uphill. And when was the last time you seen water going uphill? Now I know we all got those independent stories of kindness being repaid. I hear you. And I'm one to always try to repay kindness, right? But the fact of the matter is, life does not work on that, right? And what we have to face is the reality, because we talked about this yesterday, dealing with reality, right? Many of us are caught up in this Maryland where we think that all people are like us, kind and forgiving. Oh hell no. You know what I'm saying? When America get threatened, you get to see her true face, don't you? Right? Right? North Korea told, we gonna bomb. I think it's North Korea, or is it South Korea? One of the Koreas. You know what I'm saying? Is talking mad shit. What your boy say? What the Great Pumpkin say? We will unleash a power that the world has never seen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want y'all to understand, right? Nobody else is playing with their borders. Nobody else is playing with their reputation. Nobody else is repaying injustice with kindness but us. And I know it's the morally right thing to do, but sometimes I got to wonder, is this spirituality and this morality that we use a lot of times to talk about shit, is it a mask that we're wearing to hide cowardice? It's not our fault, but goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like we protest the police. Yeah. These motherfuckers don't care. You know what I'm saying? And and it's like we were the man, and a snake came up to us, and we did the snake a kindness. Because I want y'all to understand that when you look all over this planet, when Europeans came, people opened their doors. You know what I'm saying? When they came on the shores of Africa, we opened the doors. When they came to the shore of America, they opened the doors and they saved them. When they came, I mean, look at everywhere they went. People all over, except other people like them, other Asians, opened the door. Oh, come on in. You hungry? Let me feed you. Right? We took the snake in. Right? Then we said, okay, now it's time for you to go. The snake said, oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. No. I'm comfortable. But we don't got no hair on to get this snake up out of our belly. And then even if we did have a hair on, I have to ask the question, would we do the hair on like the man did the hair on? You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's the circumstances. It's not our fault, but shit happens. Because the heron was just running for his life and ended up gouging that woman's eye out. Right? So, we have to really, because in some cases we're the man with the snake in our belly. In other cases we're the heron helping, pulling the snake out. I mean, because really in American history, we have been almost everything but the goddamn snake. We've been everything but the goddamn snake. But everybody's trying to paint us as the snake. Oh, y'all freeloaders. How dare y'all talk about you want reparations? How dare you talk about you want political power? How dare you talk about you want some economic power? Everybody trying to paint us as the snake. See, because this is the piece. We have to stop allowing them to use this reality magic on us. Maybe that's what it's called. It's reality magic, where they're able to morph and shape reality to fit their picture because they control the language. So they come up with these words and they're able to entice you with the words to get you to start actually believing the shit that they're talking about. Right? And it's like they shape reality. So you start feeling guilty for who you are. So you start apologizing for who you are. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why, as African Americans, we should have to apologize. We should feel the necessity to apologize for anything. I want you to think about this, man. I want you to think about the numbers of African Americans and the number of the prison population. I want you to think about the numbers of African Americans and the numbers of us in poverty. Do you think this shit is an accident? Do you think this shit is our fault? Do you think this shit just happened because we're just so behind everybody else? Or were we locked out of opportunity? Think about it. Camera cut off. Think about it. Were we locked out of opportunity? At the time when it was building railroads, and at the time when it was collecting land, and at the time they was giving away land, were you able to get it? At the time when they was the GI Bill and they, you know what I'm saying, were you able to use your GI Bill to get the house where you wanted to get it? At the time they was giving away money, were you a recipient of it? Or are you getting this pittance that they call welfare right now, that they're giving out to motherfuckers right now, talking about, oh, we did our due, we repaid you. Welfare is your, you know, see, because this is the point, right? Because we feel guilty after they say this. If anybody else could get it, other than African Americans or African Americans, those of us, the descendants of captives. I hate using the term, the descendants of the enslaved. If anybody else could get it, then it's not ours. You know what I'm saying? We came over on the goddamn boats by ourselves. We should have benefits by our goddamn selves. I'm just saying. And I know some of y'all you start moving around, you get uncomfortable when we start talking about this shit. But why? Because the reality magic that's been put on you states that, oh, why you want to be the snake? Oh, it's wrong to be the snake. Right? When in fact, you're not being the snake. You're actually being a heron. Right? You help and pull the poison out of the country. You done gave the country music. You done gave the country free labor. You done helped move the country up out of recession. Hell, you even gave your children to go to war and to jail. Come on, fam. You done did your thing. You done pulled it out. And now they looking at you like, damn, I need something to kind of cure this the poison that's in my belly. And you gone and told them what it was. And they looked at you and said, you fit that description. Boom. Put you in a bag. And when they open the bag, we're too timid to come out. But I want you to understand what's the symbolism of the heron coming out the bag. The heron is in the bag. The heron come conscious. The heron just helped this person, and the heron already knows what this person's plan is for him. So when the bag is open, the heron has decided that he's going out fighting. So the woman opens the bag. And in opening the bag, she unleashed the fury of the heron who's fighting for survival. And as he comes out, she loses her eye. Not because the heron was trying to get her. The heron didn't care who opened the bag. The heron came out fighting. And that's how we are, family. We got to come out the goddamn... We can't be timid prisoners. We can't be timid hostages. You know what I'm saying? It's life or death. We are about to be cooked for the potion to make this country well. And if we just allow it, they will put us in the pot. If we stay humble and if we stay down in the bag and just wait for them to reach in to get us, we are doomed. We need to come out that bag, family. And we need to come out with a fury that they will never forget. A fury that they have no reason but to expect, but no reason but to respect. And unfortunately, there's going to be innocent bystanders that may get hurt, because that is the way of war. I want y'all to think about this. When they was dropping bombs on Afghanistan, when they was dropping bombs on Iraq, when they eventually start dropping bombs on Korea or whatever and shit. You know, they give you all this reality magic bullshit talking about, oh, we done moved. We done got all of the prisoners. We made sure wasn't no civilians around, but you know that's bullshit. When you dropping bombs, you know what I'm saying? There's no way that you could know exactly where all the fucking civilians are. They don't give a fuck about civilians when they go to war. You need to understand that shit. You falling for the reality magic. In war, civilians get it too. Family? There's innocent bystanders. Right? And the woman was innocent bystander. And the only thing I'm saying is when we come up out the goddamn bag, family, I don't give a fuck who opened the bag. If they standing in the way, they get it. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe not. But the point is, it's not our fault, but we can move. It's not our fault, but we can start doing some economic things. It's not our fault, but we can start doing some political things. It's not our fault, but we can start solidifying our borders. It's not our fault, but we can start working together and start spending our money with each other. It's not our fault, but we could cut down some of this consumption that we're doing on useless shit. It's not our fault, but we could get more involved in our children's education. It's not our fault, but you know, it's not our fault. But, family, I told y'all about my son getting robbed. And you know, they didn't knock him down. They just took the thing. He was okay. But Cleveland had the mind to at least find somebody to call his dad. Even though he knew his dad was going to be mad as hell. He knew that he had to get in touch with his dad. But Cleveland could have sat down on the ground and just gave up. Could have sat down on the ground. I wouldn't even know where my baby was. See, it's not a crime. It's not a sin to get knocked down, family. But if we continue to stay down, my son would have continued to stay down, that would be his fault. It's not a crime to get robbed, right? You know, but if you continue making yourself a victim, right, or putting yourself in a situation to be robbed, it's your fault. It's not your fault, but the shit you can do. If you get knocked down, family, the only crime, the only wrong is to get up to stay down if you're able to get up. And we staying down. We staying down because the reality magic got us believing that they're so unstoppable. But I honestly gotta ask some of y'all a question. I know some of y'all are gonna take this in the wrong way, but I'm getting too old to really give a damn. Why is it that other people will fight to the death to stay free? Why is it that motherfuckers would allow you to bomb them into the Stone Age before they even think about surrender? What are they trying to hold on to? Have you ever wondered why? Whatever Korea is talking crazy, why they talk so crazy when they could just give in and do what everybody else want them to do? What is it? What is it that they're trying to defend? Why the fuck do they want a nuclear bomb when America said they shouldn't have a nuclear bomb? What are they trying? What are they moving for? Right? You ever wonder that? It's called freedom, fam. It's called self-determination. It's not our fault. But it's something we could do, something we gotta do. And sometimes it's better to get all the way out the game to continue to be getting cheated. So what I was gonna say is this. Sometime, you know what I'm saying? If you found yourself in hell, I'm just asking, and you knew that you was gonna be in hell forever, would you have kids? You know you in hell. And if you had kids, would you want your kids to have kids? And if you knew that this is where you was gonna be unless you fought your way out that shit, what would you do? Would you be happy with your portion of hell, or would you fight to get up out that shit? I'm asking this question now because, family, I ain't even talking metaphorically. We are in hell. Economically, our community is in hell. Politically, our community is hell. Far as militarily, we are in hell. Socially, we are in hell. Educationally, we are in hell. But yet we keep having children and bringing them in here as if it's okay. I'm guilty too. I'm family, I'm telling y'all, I don't just do this shit for y'all. Do this shit to remind me of the fuckery that I'm involved with. You know what I'm saying? My elders told me about this shit before I had kids. The only one that I didn't know, most of the shit that I know now, most of the shit that I'm running into now is with wisdom. I was just ignorant. But Cleve and Gina and Sasha, I was in full knowledge of the world that I was bringing them into. With my ignorance, you know what I'm saying? And I sit up and I look at them sometime and I start to tear up because what type of world did I bring them into? You know? I mean, you never ask yourself that. You know what I'm saying? Because the hope left me a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? The whole, keep this whole keeping the hope alive shit, that left me a long time ago. Because hope, you know what I'm saying? Hope depends on something. Right? Right? Hope, you know what I'm saying? Depends on you taking action. We're not taking action. We're waiting for permission from somebody. You know what I'm saying? But the oppressor will never give you permission to overthrow him. A bully will never give you permission to stand up to him. God damn it. Alright, family, I'm gone. This brother Tim, I'm out. Y'all have a great day. Great Nia. Remember, we got the workshop today. I know I'm dating it, but alright. But we out. Oh, also, family, I'm going to be able to offer training for those interested in the African heritage diet. It's about to go down. Also, I'm going to try to post it somewhere up here. African heritage diet. My fault. On Facebook, I started a page for the Nguza Saba Challenge. So all those people that's interested, you want to read about it, you go to the page. You can check out the Nguza Saba Challenge. I encourage you to take it. You don't have to pay anything. If you want to pay something, you can, but you don't have to pay anything. I'm just trying to get the word out. I want people to understand it only takes 21 days to change a piece of your life. You can't change your whole life in 21 days, but you could change a small part, right? And we could do a small part time. You know what I'm saying? How do you cut down a tree? One chop at a time. Alright? How do you build a pyramid? One block at a time. Right? How do you build a successful life? One step at a time. This is Brother Tim, And I'm saying peace. Thank you for watching the video. I want you to subscribe. Click the bird right there, the fiery bird. And I also have a special video just for you, right there. And for those that want more information about Nyame Journey, go to our site. It should be right about there.